Good evening. It is Sissy from Sissy's Cards and Crafts. Welcome to my craft room. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Eastern Ontario, Canada. And tonight we are going to do the February 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. It is called Hello Spring. And if you are, well, pretty much everywhere in Canada has gotten some lovely snow this week. We were hit with it over the Family Day weekend. Kind of buggered up my son's plans for his birthday, or his girlfriend's plans for his birthday. My son is 30 years old today. It's crazy to think back, 30 years ago, having my little baby boy. So that kind of gives you a little insight to my age, that my baby is 30 years old. But we have a ton of snow here in Eastern Ontario. Just really hit hard with it. So thinking of spring is a good thing right now. Again, I'm sorry about the lights. I'll try to alter them a bit. Let me just pause for a moment. Okay, I'm back. For you guys, it was only a couple seconds. For me, it was a few frustrating moments to try to get this lighting sorted out. I'm gonna have to figure something out about it. Anyway, back to the paper pumpkin. So again, this is a subscription. It comes once a month. If you order it monthly, it is around $35 Canadian a month. That is shipping, taxes, everything. You get everything you need to create 9 cards usually, I believe. It's around 9 cards. So that is sweet. You calculate that out. It's reasonable, and it's a craft. And also you are getting or building your stamp supply and your ink supply. So you get a different color of ink every month. They come in this little Stampin' Spot size. They are the same as our regular pad colors. It's all going to be the same ink, just in this lovely little Stampin' Spot size. And as over time, I have talked to you about the lovely Glass Mat Studio, and I've said how it comes with this little silicone tray. These little squares are meant for these little Stampin' Spots to fit in, so you can have a few there if that's what you so choose. So they've kind of thought of everything with that. So it's a good way to familiarize yourself with Stampin' Up's quality and products, and to build up a supply of stamps. And I actually just pulled out, I believe it was July or August kit, and did a birthday card for my son today with some of the stamps that were in that, because I wanted some numbered stamps so I could put happy 30th birthday. And that actually came with 2 sets of stamps, that kit. And so I had the happy birthday and some balloons and some candles and those stamps, but I also had the numbers. So I have 1 through, or 0 to 9, and then I have the little TH, ST, RD to kind of create what I want. So great way of starting this journey is to become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. I won't use this little Stampin' Spot. I'm going to leave it sealed. It's great to gift, great to take on tour if you're traveling. The other thing is they always wrap it so nicely, so it's kind of like you're getting a little present every month. It's kind of cool. Everything, like I say, is in here that you will need. So you are traveling, and I've done that. I quite often work away for a couple weeks at a time, have to stay in a hotel. I'll throw some of these in my bag, so when I get home from work or get back to the hotel after work, It's sad when you have to call your hotel home. I don't like that. But anyway, and I'll sit at the table and do some of these just to decompress after the day and to kind of get my fill of stamping in. Sorry, I'm realizing I'm going to have to get some diffuser for that ceiling light. That's what this is here, and I'll try to keep things, once I get rid of this plastic, keep things over it. You will notice, however, I don't have a block for my stamps. That is the one thing. You do get one, but you get it in your first paper pumpkin kit. This is not the one that it is. It's very similar to the one that comes in your first paper pumpkin kit. It's just clear. It's square. It's this size. And it's this thinness, so it's not quite like our nice big blocks, but it's perfect. It does the job. It will work for all your stamps. So as long as you hold on to that, or if you buy more blocks, then you're good. But everything else is in here. The other thing they like to do with these, or it's new anyways, is they will coordinate oftentimes these with kits that are already being sold. So this one actually is based on and coordinates with the Grow with Love bundle. And I used this last week where we did the little kind of seed packet. I showed you this. I put the card away, sorry. But it was a green card. I used some DSP that went with it. So you've got these lovely dies. So these are kind of what this kit is based on. You can also order additional extras, we'll say, which are usually a die that will allow you to do just a little bit more with your kit. And this set here that they're showing is for February, March, and April. No, January, February, March. Sorry, yeah, because January was the Valentine's one. So that was for January's. I believe this one is for February, and then I'm imagining those ones are for March. So these will give us some added things. I do not have these. I forgot to order them. They run around $15, $16 thereabouts. I believe it changes every month. The other thing that you can do is, because this is a subscription, I didn't know what was in this box at all. You don't have a clue. I have an idea because they'll tell us in advance, us being demonstrators, what it's kind of based on. So I knew this kit, this Grow with Love bundle, was going to coordinate with it. But I didn't know exactly what the cards were going to be like. So this is a surprise for everyone, which is nice. We get to do this together. I don't have any previous knowledge or than you do. However, as a subscriber, or anybody that subscribes, we can go in and add extra. So if I've done this kit, I really, really like it. I could order extra. Maybe I really like the envelopes and I think, you know what, these are really handy envelopes. I would love to have some of these to make some more cards with my bundle. I can go in and order these. As long as they're still in stock, you can order them, or I can order a whole kit replacement set. So it's not a new kit. It's not like I'm adding a new box, but I can, this whole little bundle together, I can order that. I don't believe I can get the stamps, but I can get all this. I might be wrong on that, but I'm believing that's the case. So there are options if you are a subscriber to do that, which I think is awesome. These are the instructions. And so I've been showing you the back on purpose. One, because I wanted to show you the extras. Also, the QR code says video help. So if you want help or demonstration on how to put it together. There is Stampin' Up! Does a video, and it's as simple as scanning that code. And then this one says keep the crafting party going. So scan this QR code to shop the kit add-ons and other exclusive products. So those add-on things, it'll take you right there. You don't need to worry about thinking of how do I find this. You know, Sissy said it was on the website, but I can't find it. Well, you just scan that. Okay, these are the instructions. So this is the front. These are the cards we're going to make, the 3 different ones. So here's a gray card with this nice fancy envelope. They all use that envelope, actually. Here's, sorry, excuse me, a green one with die cuts. And then this looks like a blue hue. So there's, again, 3 of each. The other thing you'll find is people tend to, and I've started doing it, I plan on doing it with this one, is doing alternatives. So if you check my videos, I did some alternatives on on last month's, the heart one. So we use this material and create a different style card or alternate it slightly. And having something like the kit that it matches with will work really well. Okay, so card 1, it's the one that's using this kind of thistle. So it is this one here. So that's the one we're going to put together first. I again want to apologize for the lighting and for the quality of my video. I know it's not the best. I am just starting out, so I'm looking at, as I start getting more and more subscribers and I see a couple new people that are joining or enjoying the videos, I think that's awesome. And, hit that like and subscribe, share, and we build the community. Then I can go to my husband and say, you know what, this is worth investing in me. I'm trying to tell him that already, but you know how sometimes that goes. He is a very supportive husband, and I'm very, very blessed to have him. Okay, so we have our card bases. This is the first one we're going to use here. And I really love that. Oh my goodness, this is like a foil. I don't know if you can see that. There, see that glare? Like, that's not just a stamp. That's foil. That's beautiful. Man, it just takes it to a whole different level. Sorry about that. I totally lost my train. Oh, I love that these instructions are pictorial, because with my son with Downs, we can sit down and we can do these cards and he can follow them quite easily. Like, look, there's the stamp block. Okay, I've got the stamp block. There's the Stampin' Spot. Well, instead of using the Stampin' Spot, we're going to use the ink pad here, right? So then we want to find this piece here. Okay, well, you know what? Let's find it. And here we find this here. And so it's chives. That's what we're going to use. It does not have the flower on it because that's what we're going to stamp on. Now, on a side note, where you pop these out, there's sometimes the little, you see kind of it still sticking up. I like to just run my finger along there and smooth that out because, I've put a few cards together and then you see them there and you think, oh, that just doesn't look professional. Okay, so we're going to use our Stampin' Spot. Let's pull out our stamps. And this is something new they've started doing in the last few months. When I first started getting these, I didn't have this, and it's difficult to kind of see clear stamps. And I think of somebody like my son who can be a little bit challenging, this makes it easy. Like, they match right up there. So boom, that's the one I want right there. Makes it so easy to do. Right, I'm actually, to save the noise, I'm going to just pull that sheet off. There we go. And then you can pop these in, have these in cases too, right? Like, get an extra case for one of the, so I just took one of the kits. It's a very squeaky chair. Like when I order set, and I've got my stamps and my dies. Normally the dies come in a package, well, in package just like this, right? So that means they'll fit in here. This set has that big large die that makes the little envelope, so it won't fit in here. I'm gonna have to keep these separated or in two separate packages. I quite often just put an elastic around to hold those two together. But in most sets that come with a set like this, I've got this extra pouch that I can keep those stamps in and any extra things that I want. So that will work great. I do strongly suggest you take your stamp, and I'm using my Stamp and Scrub here. I sprayed a little bit of the cleaner on there, and I'm going to clean it here or dry it off here. That just gets those oils off of it, because in the making process, it can give oils. And like, I like eat that scrap piece of paper, and well, here's my 30th and those are great dies, right? Just any scrap piece. I want to just make sure I don't have anything on here. And like you saw one evening, I had a stamped dimensional on the back of the wax paper on the back of my stamp, and when I stamped, I totally wrecked it. But like that's a gorgeous stamp. Okay, so it shows us where to do it, kind of right over this one and right over that one. So right kind of where it's double, and we're going to put it sideways. But you know what? This is your card. You can do what you wish with it. Sorry if my head's getting in the camera, but I do need to just kind of hover over a bit. So I'm stamping that there. Oh, so pretty. This Petunia Pop color. It's an in color for the last year. Where did my paper go that I just raved about? It is an in color that's just so pretty. Sad when those colors go. Okay, you'll notice this is going to stain your stamps. It will be red. That's fine. It's not going to hurt it. There's just a little bit of a red hue to it. It doesn't change how it works at all. Okay, so then we have our saying here, which thanks for helping, I think. Yeah, thanks for helping me grow. So I'm going to take that stamp, peel that off. And this looks to be on one of those pink sentiment pages. Let me give this a try. And it looks good. Okay, so pop one of these out. Oh, there's two different kinds. Oh, all right, it's this one. And there's two thicknesses there. You only want one. Right, so I'm just going to rub those edges down, and that's all this takes, is just rub your fingers along. And it's a me thing. I'm pernickety on that. You're learning that I'm pernickety on a few things. That is just me. Now, if you need to have your sentiment square with your die or with your block, that's fine. I'm not so worried about it. I find actually if I don't have it centered on the block, it forces me to look at the sentiment rather than the block. And I don't want to rely on that block to square everything up unless I know that that is completely square on the, so if I was to put this on here, I want to make sure I know that is completely square, because if I go to put it on, I tend to look at the block more than the words to see. So I just kind of do a little trick my own brain into really focusing on the squareness of that. That, again, a me thing. But if it helps you, I do know some people will take their sentiments and stamp them upside down. again, just to trick themselves. Okay, so I better hurry up here. It's getting late. We've got that all stamped. So it looks like that's all the stamping we are going to do. I'm going to put that away or tuck it to the side so I don't cause problems. I've got those two pieces. Just going to tuck them up here on this tray here. Now we want to get sorry, I'm just looking. It shows chives again, but that's not what I want, because in my picture I've got the chives that I've already stamped, right? And then I have the basil and the mint. So I don't know if that's just a misprint or I'm looking at it improperly, but basil and mint. And so these, I could do these with my stamps. However, you'll notice it's kind of an ombre color. And you can do that with your stamps. It is a technique. It's a little bit tricky. Oh, shoot. I just put pink on there. I must have, yeah, I got pink on my finger. Shoot. So just to save, because you see, I got pink right there. Oh, and I don't know if I can even fix it. I was thinking I could offset that. Shoot. You know, I said I could do it again. Well, I'm going to have to try to make one myself to fix that. Or I'll fix it somehow by doing a different one. But that's something to keep in mind. Don't get ink on your fingers. Okay, so I've got all three of my pieces here. Now it is showing tear and tape. So you see the circle. There's tear and tape that we are going to put on the back of. Oh, that's it. It's tear and tape goes on the back of those two. And then the stamped dimensionals go on the back of the basil because those two are going down. So they just didn't put the stamped part on here. Like they just used the look before that. So here I'm going to put, and I see why they're doing that. So tear and tape is really awesome. It is just what it says. It's tape that you can tear. So it's very sticky. It's a really, really good adhesive. It's thin. It's not going to squeeze out and go all over the place. So it's quite clean. You don't have any chance. Once it's down, it's down. You're not going to get it. And some people do have issues with pulling up the backing. So you want to push it down good, or what's the word? Burnish it good. And then come in with a pointed tip. So take your pick tool, right, will help. And you'll just kind of get under those edges to pull that up. All right. And then the other one, so this one even shows you 5 dimensionals. And there's this huge sheet of dimensionals. This is the normal size sheet of dimensionals. So you've got like an excess of them here. I'm going to just kind of tuck that away and keep that because it's something I can take on my travels, which is, again, very handy. And I'm going to put all of these on. This is a fair size, so you probably do need all 5, otherwise it's going to settle in the center. Now, I've already got them ready to go. I'll pull these off of here so they're ready to go. And then I'm just going to put it out of the way so I don't cause myself a problem. Because truth be told, it's like midnight here. I'm taping this late because Josh had to watch a movie. So we watched his movie. Kind of. It was Scooby-Doo. Good old Scooby-Doo. All right. So these are inside. I've used my bone folder. This doesn't come with your kit, but I'm all for Stampin' Up. Grab their product, but you can find bone folders elsewhere. but they really are something. I thought originally you don't need a bone folder, but it really does make a difference to use something to push that edge down. And like I've said before, we used to use our fingernails, but then that left a mark there. So using something really, really helps. I mean, I picked up this at, what's my name? Sorry, I'm getting offline or off topic here. I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. So there's a pointy tool, and this was a bone folder end, but obviously it got a little too close to something. So I can't use that as a bone folder end anymore, but you can, point being, you can pick them up elsewhere. Okay, so this is a portrait size, and it takes that beautiful pink first, and it looks to be up here like this. Then it's going to take this gorgeous mint, and it looks to be right around here. And I'm going to put it in just a smidge. Don't want to cover up my word. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to be covered anyways. Okay, so there we go. And now push it down. And then these are flat, right? So we only needed that one layer of the tear and tape, but this is going to pop up to give it that dimensional. The common term that most Stampin' Up! Demonstrators will say is pop up, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're lifting that up. Sorry, I'm incredibly thirsty tonight. Now we'll notice here on this piece, we've got 2 dimensionals, so you can see they've given instructions to put those 2 what are 6 sides? I can't think of what 6 sides are. But they've put them on, and then they've put some tear and tape in the middle, and I'll show why that tear and tape is there. I'm going to place it here in the middle, but I'm not going to take the backing off yet, and I'll do the same with the dimensionals. But I'm not going to peel the backing off. So what we're doing here is we're taking this linen thread. It's thicker than just thread. It's more like a embroidery thread is what it is. And you want, it says 12 inches. So I'm actually going to measure 12 inches. And this is the one thing that you do have to supply is some snips or scissors. So 12 inches, and now I've got this lovely little edge. And like I did the other night, we're making kind of a loose bow. So I just like to make it kind of big like that. And then I have my 2 ends. Now you'll see that it's still kind of looped because it was on that spool or that cardboard tube. But if I just run it through my fingers, it will straighten that out a bit. So just kind of a big loose loop, free end either side. And then that middle is where I'm going to place on that tear and tape. So I'll pull up the backing now. I find it really helps to look at the front as you're doing it, so you know how the direction you want it to go, which is going to be this way, and then just kind of position it down. Make sure your edges are going the way you want. I kind of want a free end pointing one way and a free end pointing the other way. Maybe more on a bit of an angle. And then that is going to sit right about here. So I can reposition it. With the tear and tape, with something like ribbon or thread, you do have the opportunity to kind of reposition it a bit. So this free end should come, I don't want it pointing up here, pointing out more to the side. like that. And then this one, point more up. And it doesn't have to be right side by side here. You can space it out a little bit. So if I want to make it more like zigzagged rather than bunched, I can do that. So just kind of play around with it, get it the way you want it, and then you can adhere it down. All right, so I'm going to pull the backings off here. All right. Ribbons are one thing that I can really go down the rabbit hole with and try to get a certain way. And, you know, that's all well and good. But the thing that I've realized is who I give the card to, they're just going to see the finished card. They don't see the individual pieces that are in it and think, oh, she placed that really well right here. She did that really. That stamping was really spot on, right? It's just kind of, they look at the whole card. So there we go. That is the card. So we've got thanks for helping me grow. I can put sending love, what a wonderful friend, or happy Easter, or, you know, there's other sentiments too that will go with that. And then we have these gorgeous, gorgeous envelopes that actually are standard size envelope. You can do some stamping on this envelope, right? So there is chives in here. So we could take, and you could do this with your, the inside of the card as well. I believe I'm going to put an inside piece here like I do, just to kind of give it a little bit added, and if I mess up I've got something to correct. So that's what I'm going to do for the inside. Here I think I'm just going to take this chive block and I'm going to get my mossy, no, I don't want mossy meadow, I want old olives. Okay, and then I'm going to just take, I'm just going to do this once and then I won't do it again. I just want to give that a try. Perfect. So here I'm going to take this. You can stamp right on your glass mat. It works fine. You can wipe it right off. But I didn't bring in a cloth to wipe that off. So there we go. I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to take my Petunia Pop and that chive, pop that on a block, open this up, and I'm going to stamp this on here. And it's always nice to run them off the edge too. It just gives a little bit more depth to it. So, you know, be creative, add those things. That's what makes it yours. It makes it your card that you are giving to somebody. Okay. So very simply, card to put together. Actually, I'm going to leave that because I bet you we're going to need that in a second. And now they match, right? I think that is so, so sweet. So that's card one. Where am I going to put these? I'm going to run out of room here. Okay, card two. Oh, it's this green. And we're going to use To a Wonderful Friend. Their Stampin' Block. And we're going to put it on this other sentiment piece here. So this one with like this tag ends. I don't know if tag's the right word. Like I'm thinking the tags you get that you tear off on the end. So that's that rippled edge. It does, I believe we do have this die in this set too. Yeah, right here. So bang on, right? We could definitely help recreate this card. Okay, so this goes on, let's see, to a wonderful friend. I'm going to have to reposition all these stamps again afterwards. I'm mucking them all up here. If you haven't figured out, my kind of word of choice is mucking. I hope it's not bothering anybody. But that is kind of what I do. Come up with all of these lovely, fun terms. All right, give it a little bit of a scrub and a trial. Sorry, I've got that sitting on my tear and tape. Probably not the best idea. Looks awesome. When I first got Paper Pumpkin, I've mentioned it before, I had trouble with some of the stamps. So you'll notice it's telling me to do it towards the end, not in the center. So follow your instructions. They are very clear. Yeah, I really struggled with some stamps. They just did not want to go on nice and smooth. Like I didn't have a good, nice, clear stamp. They were constantly had like bubbles and it was just what was on the stamp. And I had to use them multiple times to be able to get that basically manufacturing type oils that were on there. Okay, so we're gonna have, so we get a dingle here somewhere. Tear and tape across the back. And then it looks like we've got a bunch of flowers we're gonna use. So I'm not going to peel that backing off yet. So the flowers, let's grab them. I'll tuck that guy away so I don't get him. And it's all 1, 2, 3. 3 of them. No, looks like I'm using all 4. So it's definitely the rosemary, is it? And the thyme, yeah, it's all 4. It's just, we're going to do one a little bit differently. Thyme. My husband, he loves pretty much any food. He's not a picky eater. He just likes to have different things. When we first married and I kept making him my 3 famous meals over and over again, he kind of got sick of it and asked me to learn some new recipes. But other than that, he's pretty good. But you know what? Anything I put thyme in, he's not a fan of. And I think he's actually created that in me because I made a recipe last night. It was kind of a mock Swiss chalet sauce, and it had thyme in it, and I didn't like it. I don't know if he liked it or not. We actually weren't able to eat together that night because the snow was so bad. We had to get things shoveled before he went to work, and so it was, we didn't get to eat together. So these 2 longer ones are narrower ones are going to be the tear and tape. Doop, doop. So if you're having trouble finding the edge, just run your finger along and you'll find it. It's fairly easy. As somebody that has to deal with paper tape a lot and other tapes, it can be very frustrating to. And now if you come off the edge, so you can see I've come off the edge, what I'm going to do is when I actually take the backing off that, maybe I'll just start the backing here now. I'm just going to fold that over and stick it to itself. Instead of worrying about trying to cut it or anything, I'm just going to pull it up like that. So I'm having another dingle on my phone. I don't know who would be only me at this point in time. So I am going to check, but it doesn't look like it's anybody important. I should just make sure I'm turning them off. And I could actually angle these a little bit because of the way they do work. Right, they're a lot more pliable than regular tape, so I can just kind of angle them. So that's what I'm going to do with that. But watch, maybe do measure better than I am when you're putting them on. Okay, so now this is the one I want 3 dimensionals on. You might be tempted to say, well, I'm going to save some dimensionals and use them for other projects. But really, you've got them, use them. You don't want to have, like, put a dimensional here and a dimensional here and then have your card or your project kind of sag in the middle. And you don't just have what's cut out here. All of this edging you can use. So that's a really, really good thing to remember. Okay, so we've got this green card base. And then we have these, and again, these have got a gold foiling on them. They're just so pretty. Like, Stampin' Up, well done. Kudos to you. I actually might be getting another refill of this. This is really nice. Where exactly you would use those extra things, I'm not sure, because I don't really have them, and I don't know what they do. One seems to be like a branch. And then I can't remember what the other one was like, but I know last month the heart one would have come in handy. So keep in mind this is directional. It should work. No, it wouldn't work. So if I had it up, like flipped over this way, because this is, all of these are going in this direction. If I fold and use this side, it's going to be upside down. So do note that you want it in proper orientation. And this is going to go on here. Now, oddly enough, it's not telling me how this is going to go on there. Oh no, it does. Sorry, scratch that. It's got a piece of tear and tape across the back. And it just has one. So we're obviously going to support it in other ways, which is most likely going to be with our flowers we're putting on. Okay, so just center this on here. If I just kind of lay it down gently, I do have some time to move it around. Okay, I struggle with getting things straight. It's terrible when I'm in front of a class and I'm writing something out and it just never is straight. It is frustrating for people, I'm sure. Okay, now how are we going to position these on? Here we want, or this is showing, we don't have to do it exactly this way, but it's showing this kind of just over midway through, sticking up at the top. So see there, I'm sticking that down already. This one looks like it is over here, and it also is popping up over the top. So it's coming into that green space. Which I really like when we do that, when it runs off the edges. Okay, then it's got mint. No, this is not basil. Basil, I believe, is coming down here. So we're bringing it down further here. And we're covering up a fair bit of that thyme. But I do have it sticking up at the top here, so good. And now here is the basil, and I'm going to position this in here. So just have a look to see how it all fits in. Oh, wait a minute. No, pay attention. Pay attention to what you're doing. Let me double check here. This wasn't supposed to go down. That's what I was having concerns with. So slowly pull it up. Now, I'm telling you, just follow the instructions. But apparently I can't follow the instructions. Okay, so here again, we're going to put a little bit, well, it said a little bit of tear and tape, and I put tear and tape across the whole thing. So we're going to do the same thing with our thread. I'm going to pull off 12 inches. It would be nice if we had like a lot of extra. You get a fair bit of extra of this, but it just, I'm all about the ribbon and the embellishments. Embellishments, sometimes you get, like we got some last month that were very, very gorgeous, and they're just a something that is only for paper pumpkin, like those little pink hearts that were so pretty, a little bit of sparkle in them. There is no embellishments in this set. Okay, so I want, now this is going to go this way, and then I'm going to put my stamp dimensionals on here. Kind of double stick because I've got the tear and tape at the ends, but oh well, it will stick. Just make sure the other parts aren't sticking to the thread, aren't sticking. Okay, so to a wonderful friend, and this is going to come across here. Not, it's kind of centered horizontally, but not vertically. All right, now this one fills up this space here. That's what I had done wrong. There we go. That's it. I don't know. Can you pick up that? Yeah, that shimmer there. So, so pretty. And then we can put that. You know what? These could even be just little note cards. I think that would be very, very sweet as well. I am going to just kind of go over and above here. What I'm going to do is I've got just a little smidge of a dimensional there. I'm going to put it right here. I don't know if it's because I kind of folded that when I had to tear it up or what, but I think I could just use a little extra help there. I got glue on my board here. These things are the things that bother me. You know, I'm telling you all of my little quirks and things that I have to do. Why, share with me what are your little quirks that you find when you're crafting you have to do. Okay, card 2. Again, we're going to pop that with these gorgeous envelopes. I have all of these stamps with the other kit, so I could stamp something on my envelope quite easily. They do often give us extra parts, die cuts. So if we have extra die cuts, maybe we can do something. Now this was one I was like, when I first looked at it, I thought, do I like it or don't I? But now that I'm digging into this stuff, the supplies and that, I'm liking it more and more, and I think maybe this might be a gorgeous one. I don't see any foil in this, so there's no shine here, but we have the pool party. There is, it looks like Old Olive or Mossy Meadow in there as well, so that is some added color, but we don't have the shine that the other ones have. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. But it's not that we don't going to have the shine, because we have this to add in here, which will be our shine. So that's going to go on there. We are going to do some stamping, the same as what we did before. So I'm wondering, do we have extra? Oh yes, look at this. We've got a whole sheet of extra chives. So, and these chives have this zigzag cut on it. There's a word for it. I can't think of it. So notice we've got 4 here, and we're only doing 3 cards of each. And there is 3 of these. So you might not have an extra one of these, but these are going to go on. So again, just rub those edges. And basically it's going to kind of assemble like this. This is actually a portrait card. So I'm going to do that, and it's not centered vertically. It's down a little bit lower. I can leave that chives showing, or I can cover it however you want. That's basically the assembly we're going to do. So we're going to stamp it the same as we did. Hello Spring, we're going to stamp on a circle. And I saw the circles here. Where did I see the circles? We've got all of these. Let me show you what I'm looking through here, right? So here are the circles on here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I only have 3 sets of these, so we might not get all the extras that enough to do like an extra card, but there will be some extras. This little circle, and circles are always great to stamp on because they're always going to be, you don't have to worry about getting them straight. They're always going to be straight. All right, so let's get out our chive here again, chive flower, and I'll find that Hello Spring while we're digging. Oh, that For You, that, you know where I'm going to put that? I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to pop that there. Don't let me forget that's there, because I will. All right, so chive is going to go here. Just to remind you, with the photopolymer, you know you're going to get it in the right spot because you can see right through that. So I know where that green stem is, and I can aim right for where it needs to be. I should have just put that right on that. I can't see that when I'm looking. So when I look over at the camera and I see it, it kind of bothers me because I really, really wish it wasn't there. All right, I'm going to just do my good old give it a try. And I think I'm just going to do it again because that S just doesn't, and sometimes just giving it a little bit of a rub helps. Got a little ink on that corner. Okay. And it could just be that sometimes it doesn't get all the way dry, so have a little feel, make sure it's dry. Think we're good. So make sure that S gets inked up. Center the best, well, fit it on here because centering, like I say, isn't an issue right now. The circle. And I want to thank you guys again for joining me, for helping me with this journey of crafting. I really enjoy crafting. I really just, I find a lot of peace and happiness in it. And to share that with somebody is really important, just to kind of find some peace in that as well. So let's do this. This one we are doing tear and tape across the back. I'm already getting some great ideas for alternates for this. So keep that in mind. It might be what I plan on doing tomorrow, is coming up with alternates. Make sure your card's opening the right way. Find that sweet spot to lay that on. And then pop it down. And if you were here the other night and saw me use this other set, I was just finding this was not lining up properly. And now that I look at these, it's not meant to. It's not a perfectly straight set. And it makes me feel a little better, because I was thinking I kind of ruined my stamp when I assembled it. But it doesn't look like I did. It looks like that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so I am down to, I used the last dimensional. So what I'm going to do is just cut here, and I'm going to pull this center off, and I'm going to throw that on there, because you know what? Nobody's going to know but you. I do have more dimensionals, but why waste, right? And sometimes those edge pieces are the best. They fit right where we want them to. They'll cover a longer area like we need them to. So this again isn't centered. It's going to come kind of like this here. This is going to be, let's do this first. Same sort of thing where we're going to use a piece of tear and tape across to hold the ribbon. But you'll notice that's on one side, and then our dimensional, we only have one dimensional. It's on the other side. So let's get that set. And this is where I can show you how just kind of a long one might be a little bit better to put here. That's just a little bit too long. So let's just snip off that end. Whew, that's how these things get lost, is by doing that. Sticking to my scissors and falling away. All right, pop this on there. Still might be a little long. No, I think it's going to be just perfect. Perfect size. And then just a small piece of tear and tape to hold that ribbon. All right, again, 12 inches, the magic number. Just get a good general idea here. Give it a cut. What I like to do with any of my little paper tubes is I come in and I just cut a little edge there, and then I can stick my end in there, and it's going to keep it from unraveling, but also it keeps that end right where I want it. So I'm going to do this lovely little loop here to make that bow. And then I'm going to peel off my tear and tape. Watch the direction of how I want this bow to go. It's not really a bow, right? But I think I can make that a little bit. Got ends too long, loops not long enough. So I'm going to just even it up there. Like that. Again, like this. All right. I've got it hanging off over the edge. Now, wait a minute. There we go. So we popped up this. We don't need this popped up again, because this will then make it uneven, right? You want to keep it all on the same sort of plane. So to do that, we have to pop up this end, but keep this end the same. And we're going to just pull that up so we can see that word chives. And we're going to make sure this is not off the edge of the blue, but yet there enough that we can see it. I think that's good. Might just trim that end up just a smidge. Probably do the same there to even them up. Okay, I've got just a little hook up here that I keep my scissors on. That's why I keep reaching up there. Okay, so there we go. That is card number 3. Oh, wait a minute. Got to put on our Hello Spring. That's going to pop on right there. And they're actually using dimensionals with that. So I'm going to just take 3 chunks here. I don't even think I'm going to need all that because these are kind of bigger pieces. Well, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it and make them. I've even made these kind of bend a little bit sometimes, but I don't need to here. Okay. It's a little bit overkill, but you know what? It's going to stay on. It's not going to fall off. Sometimes things you get in the mail go through a little bit of work. Okay, so we've got Hello Spring. I'm going to position that on there so I get to see all the good stuff behind it. And there we go. So that's 3 cards. I will show you something. I'm not going to use it on these cards. I'll use this piece of paper here. There's a couple extra stamps that I thought were really quite nice. So we've used the chives, the flower, Hello Spring, thanks for helping me grow, to wonderful friends, sending love. Those ones are going to be kind of you should work just like the other one. But if we look at this design back in the background here, that's kind of what we've got here with this stamp. So we could, on a sentiment piece, come in, use our ink, Petunia Pop, stamp off, and then come in and stamp on here. And maybe the same up here. And just kind of, I think that's it. I was going to do it a third time, but I think we'll leave it at that. And that adds some really nice texture, right? They're like a background stamp. Can work really, really nice. And then this one, I was thinking would be really good on an envelope. So let's take one of our envelopes. Make it this way. Let's actually just go on the back here because this almost looks like a seal. So I want to get that. I find these stamps that are mostly flat, they have kind of that bubble look to them more than the other ones, and they take a little bit more love to use. Okay, so I've got that inked up. And then right on the back here, I'm just going to do this lovely little stamp that says "For You" on it. So it's kind of a reverse impression where normally the words are what gets inked up and stick out, whereas here this is going to be everything else is dark, but the words are there. Okay, so Hello Spring. Let's just put sending love. Let's do that. I'll put this one back. Like I say, I'm going to have to rejig all of my stamps because I've kind of made them all a little bit center. Not that it matters, but I just want them all to stick. Okay, so I'm going to use Memento here. just to give it. Some people find reading red. You know what? I think I got that crooked. So I'm going to put it down and I'm going to pick it up. There we go. That way I'm not bending it. That is the one thing. It's kind of a two-edged sword. It can be really helpful with a photopolymer stamp. And then other times it's not so helpful, that they can spin or bend rather. Okay, so that is going to be the inside of this card. Where did my glue go? I'm just going to take this. Now I could have used blue ink, right? Or boho blue or pool party. Not sure. I'm thinking it's more pool party color, but I think boho blue would look nice with that as well. You don't have to add this extra piece. You could, of course, stamp right on the back. There's nothing wrong with that. But there we go. So Hello Spring. And we've got our envelope that we stamped on that says for you. I really like that. I think that's one I will use time and time again. So to a wonderful friend, we've got that card there. We've got this card here that we stamped our chive on. And it's got that nice gold foiling in the back. Thanks for helping me grow. So thanks for spending the last hour with me and listening to me. Please say hi, like, subscribe to my page, share it. I really would appreciate it. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening, day, whenever you're watching this. Just pop on the comments that you're watching the replay. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Thank you. Bye.